Sure. Thanks, you guys, obviously, always for covering us. That was great Friday night energy here. It's never lost on me how this crowd is built and grown. And, people have said Friday nights can be tough in LA, but this place was rocking. I love it. I love it for our team and for USC community and for LA. Wins in this league are hard to come by, and I thought our energy was really good tonight. ASU tested us as we knew they would, and I thought our energy was really good. Particularly, I thought we established ourselves inside the paint, and that's what we know we can do. Both Rayah and KD were terrific. Katie's lucky I'm still talking to her, even though her Columbia Lions beat my Brown Bears pregame. But she came out and did her job, and I thought, we saw a really, as we would say, juicy version of Rayah. But no one did anything out of what they're capable of. I thought we played with a lot of energy tonight and did some good things, and there'll be some good tape to look at. Thought we gave up too many points after that first quarter, but we'll get better, and I have to get ready for Monday.
Coach, obviously Arizona State's not the most daunting of opponents. As a coaching staff, when you look back at the film, how do you evaluate a game like this?
I mean, I would say, I know where your question's coming from and that they're not at the top of the league, but everybody's daunting in this league, and I'm not just, it sounds cliche, I'm not just saying it, everybody is. They recently beat Washington, and that resonates with us, and obviously they have a couple wins in the league. So to me, we look at every game and evaluate, are we playing to our level and our standard, right? And I thought tonight we did some things really well. The things I mentioned, our energy, our rebounding, our offensive rebounding, our paint presence. I thought 20 assists and 8 turnovers, that was really good. And I think we're going to look back and see some things on the film, particularly after that first quarter where defensively we had some lapses or possessions where we had lapses, and we're just fighting to be the best team we can be, and you got to play every possession like it's a game winner. I didn't think we did it the whole night, so I think that's what we'll learn from the film, but it has nothing to do kind of who the opponent is. That's what we do every night.
Coach, last Friday it felt like it was kind of Juju and everyone else, with obviously you guys hit 67 total points, you scored 51 of them. Tonight was a bit different. It was much more of a team effort. You had 3 players in double figures, 5 players with 6 or more points. So what do you think that says about your team that kind of more different guys stepping up as opposed to last week and it's kind of all just Juju?
Yeah, I mean, what I would say first is that obviously Juju's performance last Friday night, was spectacular, but we don't win that game unless we're battling defensively. We don't win that game if we give up 70 points, right? And I think the job that our bigs did on the interior play of Stanford, the big shots that other people. So I wouldn't say it was. I know her numbers were staggering, but I would say that was a team effort too to beat a team like that. Tonight, though, I think it's remarkable. I think what we put on Ju's plate, and she continues to do, which we just keep saying, keep making the right play, right? So she had 5 assists tonight. She could have had more if we, even shot it a little bit better from 3. We know we're capable. But we've said continually, it's not just this last weekend, that we are at our best when we have interior threats and 3-point threats. And Ju draws so much attention. And I think that's what we ultimately can be. And we should be up in the 80s and not in the 60s if we're all doing our job with that.
Rayah, you had another double-double. You kind of struggled a little bit in the last about 6 games or so. You didn't, of course you didn't get a double-double and whatnot. How were you feeling tonight? What was kind of the difference between tonight and, kind of some of the past games?
The goal is always to win for me. And personally, I remember I came out in the first quarter. It was tough getting my feel for offense. But one thing about my teammates, they're great people, just not the number on their jersey. They told me to just keep shooting the ball, and the flow of the game, it was clicking for me. And I just took advantage of that, and I just try and remember to compete on both ends of the floor.
I think Rayah's in that category too. She had 3 assists and no turnovers to go with 13 points, 16 rebounds. We're encouraging all of them. Sometimes they flood the paint and there's 3 on Rayah and she's gonna kick it out. And other times we're be a beast and dunk it on somebody. We're only gonna be as good as the freedom I give them to say make the next play again and again. And I thought she was really assertive tonight, which anytime she's assertive, we're a better team. And so I thought she made a lot of good decisions in addition to finishing well and rebounding well.
Coach, I have to ask, did Jason Sudeikis impart any of his Ted Lasso coaching techniques on you before the game?
I tried to get it out of him. I'm like, I'm rewatching shows. Like they know, like I'm like totally starstruck and getting like some of the players are really into it, and some haven't watched the shows. I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna make everyone watch it. But yes, it got me in my Ted Lasso bag of quotes. I used the Ted Lasso quote before the game, so definitely, I was excited to have him here, and that was very cool. Only in LA.
Could you share what quote you used with us?
The one about competition and how it's like riding a horse, right? Like if it's comfortable, you're probably doing it wrong. So just trying to encourage us to get out of our comfort zone, and as you grow as a team, you obviously want to feel comfortable and confident in what we're doing. But then I think the secret is to push yourselves a little further so that you're always striving to be better than what you were.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Mark.
So 20 second chance points on 19 offensive rebounds, if I'm seeing it correctly. What does that kind of say about, kind of the dominance in the paint and, how y'all came out after, the last time y'all were here and lost?
I mean, a couple things, right? Like, I'm not sure that we have the weekend in the Bay that we had if that last Sunday didn't happen, right? Like, no one wishes for a loss or whatever, but I think it was ultimately maybe good for us to just be able to get some things, out there that we need to work on and be tested that way. But I also told them I never want to see that version of us again either. And it's not a discredit to Washington. Like, they're a good team. So tonight, like, I think we've just found another gear, right? Like, we know that we have a great interior presence and really athletic and talented bigs. And so, we've challenged them to really assert themselves, and I think that's what they've been doing for, these last couple games.